After 2 days of record-breaking coronavirus cases in Dane County, changes are going to be made to the Forward Dane reopening plan. We'll let you know how it will affect your day.
Heavy rain, lots of lightning and thunder with damaging winds and as well as isolated tornadoes. They're all possible today. I have all the details in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Thanks for joining us. We do want to start this Friday morning with breaking news. Within the last half hour, we've learned the man facing tentative charges in a downtown hit-and-run investigation is out of jail on $350 bail. Madison police say they arrested Brandon O'Neill on a tentative charge of hit-and-run causing injury. Here's a look at him on your screen right now. The arrest is in connection to this incident from Sunday morning on North Francis Street and University Avenue near the UW-Madison campus. Right now, a woman is recovering after being hit by a truck which drove away before police got to the scene. Community activists and local nonprofits are pushing for the case to be investigated as a hate crime and claim the driver was a white supremacist. We have more information about this incident and all of the security camera footage up right now on channel3000.com.
Well, you are taking a live look at Platteville this morning. We are seeing some of the storms that'll be here in just a little while.
Boy, take a look at that light show. My goodness. And Hattie, that is headed our way.
Yeah, that storm has already moved through Platteville, so it's done there. It's moving into Iowa and Lafayette counties right now. And alert day is in effect. It's going to be a pretty busy day in the weather office. We have one round of showers and thunderstorms moving through. Not severe right now, but there may be some small hail as well as very heavy rain. Later on this afternoon, we're going to transition to more of a wind threat, as well as the potential for a few isolated tornadoes. Here's a look at high-resolution radar, again showing you some pretty heavy rain. We could see rain rates in excess of 2 to 3 inches an hour. Now, what you need to know is that these storms are not going to sit over one spot for an hour, though. They're moving pretty quickly, already moving through Darlington into Dodgeville right now. Maybe you're up a little earlier than you had hoped in those locations. Take a look at Doppler track just over the last couple of hours, and you can see these storms rapidly moving in from Iowa, crossing the Mississippi River, and then making their way towards Madison. They have not weakened a whole lot, maybe just a little bit, but there still is a potential for some very heavy rain as well as some small hail. Further back to the west, more activity lining up across southern Minnesota and Iowa. That's the next round that will arrive later on this afternoon. So there may be a little bit of a break late morning, early afternoon time frame, and then showers and thunderstorms return. We are under an enhanced risk for severe weather here across the far southern 2 tiers of counties in southern Wisconsin. That does include Madison and Milwaukee. North of that, our northern viewing areas are under a slight risk for severe storms. Here's a look at the impacts and timing from these events today. For this morning, again, rain and hail threat. As we head towards the afternoon, that's when we transition more to a wind threat as these storms organize themselves into a line that pushes through the area. Now, looking at the winds with height in the atmosphere, we could see some isolated tornadoes spinning up. Our temperatures are quite mild this morning. Upper 60s here in Madison, low 60s in the Dells. It doesn't cool down a whole lot with the rain. You can see to the west, 65 in Platteville, 66 in Prairie du Chien. Dew points are going to be high today, and take a look at your future track forecast model. It does show this rain making it into Madison yet this morning by about 7 o'clock. Here's a look at the mid-morning hours. We'll get a little bit of a break, but then scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to return this afternoon. We could see a couple of line segments pushing across the area. They will exit, though, through the evening hours. So overnight, things should quiet down. That'll set us up for a nice weekend. Again, rain amounts are going to be highly variable across the area. You can see a wide range of numbers, less than 1/4 of an inch, well over an inch forecasted by those forecast models. Again, if you happen to be under one of those heavier storms, you could see 1 to 1.5 inches of rain. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. 86 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday. We're looking at mainly dry conditions. There's just an outside chance for a shower or thunderstorm to return late in the day on Sunday. Heating up next week as we head towards the 4th of July.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Developing right now in Janesville this morning, dive teams are attempting a water search and rescue at the Old Monterey Dam near the Center Avenue Bridge. Janesville police tell me they were first called to the scene around 7:20 last night. Other information is limited right now, but we do have a crew that just arrived on the scene, so be sure to stick with News 3 Now this morning and channel3000.com for updates.
And breaking overnight, Madison police and fire officials are responding to a fire in the town of Burke. The call came in just after midnight. Madison Fire says the house was under construction and didn't have anyone inside at the time. We are working to figure out the extent of the damage or if anyone was injured.
A surge in coronavirus cases across the country is pushing us to daily totals not seen since April. Yesterday, the U.S. reported more than 37,000 new cases, breaking the previous single-day record of about 36,000. That was set back in April 24th. Total cases in the country now sit at more than 2.4 million. The state with the most cases announced yesterday: Florida, California, Arizona, and Texas. And in Texas, the reopening process is now on hold because of that surge. Governor Greg Abbott says he's committed to helping to slow the virus while also making sure Texans can collect a paycheck. Businesses that were already allowed to reopen can remain that way. Governor Abbott says the last thing they want is for the state to move backward, and that this pause in reopening will allow them to move forward safely in the future.
Wisconsin is seeing a spike in coronavirus cases, and in Dane County, health officials are putting new precautions into place. State health officials reported nearly 500 new cases yesterday. 10 more people in Wisconsin have also died. That brings the total number of people killed by the virus to 770. The positive percentage of new cases has also stayed above 4%, with more than 11,000 people testing in the past 24 hours positive. 4.1% came back positive yesterday. And after a second consecutive day of record-setting new cases here in Dane County, Phase 2 of the Forward Dane reopening plan is being revised. The health department confirmed 105 new cases in the county yesterday, shattering the previous record of 71 set just the day before. Health officials say the high numbers do not correlate with increased testing either. Half of the new cases are people in their 20s. The department said it's investigating multiple cases associated with businesses near the UW-Madison campus. Now, here is a look at the revised rules for Phase 2. Private gatherings are now limited to 10 people or fewer. Bars and restaurants may still operate, but at 50% capacity. But customers are now required to use seating at all time, and that seating must be 6 feet apart. Parties can only be seated with members of their households, and there will also be no standing service. Health officials say this is a targeted amendment to address what they have learned through contact tracing.
The CDC removing the specific 65-year-old age threshold for adults at risk of severe coronavirus. The agency now warns that risk just simply increases steadily as adults age. Pregnancy, by the way, also now listed as a condition that might increase risk of severe illness. Pregnant women are more likely to be hospitalized, but they are not at greater risk of dying from COVID.
Breaking overnight, President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to overturn the Affordable Care Act. This move could cause up to 20 million Americans to lose their health care coverage. Nearly 500,000 of those have gotten coverage through that program in the last few months due to the economic shutdowns. And about 27 million Americans are believed to have lost their job-based coverage. The president's administration has not mentioned how this will play to the coronavirus pandemic. We're working to gather more details on this developing story. Stick with News 3 Now this morning and channel3000.com for update.
5:07 right now. Monday, the Madison School Board will take up a controversial vote to end its contract with Madison Police. This would remove school resource officers from all 4 of Madison's high schools. Protesters with Freedom Inc. support this. They rallied downtown yesterday. They want money for SROs to be used instead on programs focused on mental health, restorative justice, youth jobs, scholarships, things that can provide opportunities for Black and brown students.
Our youth have been demanding to invest, instead of investing millions of dollars into police, into discipline, into suspension, into expulsion, to all of these punitive forms of violence that we do to young people. We can actually invest in their leadership, wellness, creativity, give youth the opportunity to lead.
Interim Police Chief Vic Wall says he's disappointed that police won't be able to provide services to students anymore if this passes. He says in the long run, it could ultimately be a loss. The Madison mayor does support removing officers from schools. The school board will have the final say on Monday night.
It is down to 2 candidates now in the search for the next Madison school superintendent. Dr. Carol Kelly and Dr. Carlton Jenkins will participate in the next step in the interview process. Kelly serving in her 5th year as superintendent of the Oak Park Elementary School District in Illinois, and Jenkins is in his 5th year as superintendent of the Robbinsville School District, that's in Minnesota. This announcement comes after Dr. Matthew Gutierrez rescinded his acceptance for the position back in April. All right, 5:09 now. Grab your fancy hat and your mint julep because Churchill Downs says fans will be allowed to attend this year's Kentucky Derby. Just expect things to look a little different. Attendance is likely to be limited to 50 or 60,000 people. Now that sounds like a lot. It does, but it's less than half of the 150,000 fans who usually attend. Right now, the plan is to fill about half of the track seats and spread 20,000 people across the 26-acre infield. Masks are optional for guests, but required for employees along with gloves. Derby weekend is currently scheduled to kick off September 4th.
In Paris, the Eiffel Tower is back open after more than 100 days. That was its longest closure since World War II. Only the first 2 observation floors will be open, but you won't want to think about heading there when you hear this. The elevators are still closed, so it's a lot of stairs. Face masks are required to go up in the tower. Management says elevators are still too risky, though, given the close quarters. It's estimated that the landmark saw about 1,000 visitors in its first day of resumed operations. The tower's general manager says they're hoping to get that number up to 100,000 a day by the end of July.
My brother and I tried to walk up the stairs when we were visiting Paris. Not a smart move.
I don't know if I'd want to be in an elevator, though, either right now.
Or in a staircase. I don't know. With other people? How about Kentucky Derby, huh?
50,000 people for the Kentucky Derby.
Like so
that still
much.
seems like a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Chris's
just don't know.
face says it all.
Well, I just don't know if this is the right time right now. I know people are going to be, they want their Derby, and it's a huge deal there and for the country, but at the same time, you got to be safe. I just don't know how you can get that many people together right now and do it safely.
And masks are just optional, which is a little surprising as well, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yikes.
All right,
5:11 right now. Let's check in on the roads, and we're keeping our eye on southwest Wisconsin this morning, where we're seeing a lot of that heavy rainfall. We have been seeing some slowdowns from about Platteville up to the Dodgeville area as that heavy rainfall moves in, as Hattie's been tracking those severe thunderstorms this morning. A look at Dane County looking good so far, Rock County as well. There are your drive times. Looks like we're looking okay on those main highways. That's your first warn traffic.
And coming up, Hattie will keep tracking that alert day forecast for you. She'll let us know when those storms will roll through and what some of the risks are associated with the storms. That's coming up. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Plus, the Madison Reading Project has a list of resources that can help you explain issues surrounding race and equality. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now closed captioning is sponsored by Wells Asphalt Paving.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center, Madison.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
At Mounds Pet Food Warehouse, we know that no two pets are the same. That's why each of our 5 southern Wisconsin locations is wall-to-wall with everything you and your pet need, including dog food, cat food, pet beds, thousands of toys, treats, and chews, and supplies for your small animals, birds, and reptiles, too. With so many options, finding what you need is easy. You gotta get down to Mounds and see for yourself. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse powers them all. And don't forget your Free Mounds candy bar.
Going on now, 4 days only. Save big at Grand Appliance and avoid big box crowds this holiday during the Friends and Family Sale. Shop online or at your local Grand Appliance. Double up on Grand exclusive savings. Up to $1,000 on top of already reduced July 4th pricing. Take advantage of safe online, phone, and virtual shopping options. Plus, your choice of either no-contact curbside or in-home delivery services. Don't delay. Grand Appliance Friends and Family Sale ends this Sunday, June 28th.
Spas, spas, spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center, Madison.
Today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. We're watching some strong showers and thunderstorms moving through the area right now. Maybe we need to alert the polar bear, alert the zoo. Swimming in the pool, maybe not the best idea. I'm not outside this morning because that lightning is getting pretty close. Take a look at Doppler track this morning. You can see that these showers and thunderstorms are approaching the western edge of Dane County. They have moved through Mineral Point and Dodgeville, headed towards New Glarus and areas like Mount Horeb. There could be some penny-size hail and some wind gusts in the 30 to 40 mile-an-hour range as these storms push through. Dew points today are going to climb in the 50s right now, but we'll be well into the 60s, flirting with 70 degrees later on today. That is very muggy, lots of moisture in the atmosphere, plenty of moisture for these showers and thunderstorms to work with. As you head out the door this morning, be prepared for scattered thunderstorms this morning and then again later on today into this evening. So plan ahead. Temperatures will top in the lower 80s. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about that severe potential later on today.
All right, thanks, Hattie. A new bill named for George Floyd that addresses policing is through the House this morning, but that could be where it ends. The bill passed largely along party lines. 3 Republicans crossed party lines to vote for it. Democratic-led bill has provisions to overhaul qualified immunity for law enforcement. It has prohibitions on racial profiling and a ban on no-knock warrants in federal drug cases. It would also ban chokeholds at the federal level and classify them as a civil rights violation. However, this bill is not expected to be taken up in the Senate. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has already said that he will not bring up the House's police reform bill for a vote, calling it an overreach. This comes after Senate Democrats blocked a Republican police reform bill Wednesday.
Minneapolis City Council is taking its first official step to disband the police department. Members are trying to amend the city charter and create a new public safety system. That charter clearly states there has to be a police department in the city. Council members are instead proposing a Department of Community Safety and Violence Prevention. The amendment says it would take a holistic, public health-oriented approach. Ultimately, the residents of Minneapolis will decide this, with a charter amendment on their ballot potentially by November.
The conversations about race and equality need to be started early to be most effective. Now, if you're a parent looking for resources to help raise and teach your kids about racism, you might not know where to start.
Books are a good place to begin. Christina Laurie joins us with some titles every family should have on their bookshelf. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Leah and Chris. Like my favorite character, Atticus Finch, says in To Kill a Mockingbird, you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. So the books I'm going to share with you this morning are recommended by the Madison Reading Project and can help kids of all ages gain a new perspective. First up is The Colors of Us by Karen Katz. This board book is best for kids between the ages of 1 and 4, and it's about a girl who is going to paint a picture of herself and wants to use some brown paint for her skin. She quickly learns brown comes in so many different shades, and this book explains that using food like French toast and honey, as well as things found in nature. Now, the author never directly uses words like racism or white privilege, but her message is clear: people can't be painted with the same brush. Next up is The Other Side by Jacqueline Woodson. It's great for kids ages 4 to 8. It's told from the perspective of Clover, a young black girl who lives by a fence that segregates her town. Her mom tells her never to cross it, but one day she notices a girl standing on the other side who looks lonely. So they start talking, and since they can't cross over the fence, they sit on it together. This book allows parents a chance to talk about the imaginary fences still up in our world today and what kids can learn about being on either side of a metaphorical fence. Now, these books are just the start. Coming up in our next half hour, I'm going to share a type of book that's perfect for kids who don't love to read, as well as some easy and even free ways you can access these books at home, because many local retailers are selling out, and even so are places like Amazon. Chris, Leah?
Yeah, get them before they're gone. I know we got ours early, introduced a bunch of new books to our kids on this topic, so thanks a lot, Christina. There's a small movement this morning to replace our country's national anthem. Founders of the petition on change.org are asking for a change to its writer, Francis Scott Key's ties to slavery. The Smithsonian says Key was in fact a slave owner and was known to defend slave owners' rights to keep humans as property. Petition owners also say that some of the anthem's lyrics, specifically in the third and fourth stanza, allude to racism, sexism, and elitism. They propose that as an alternative, our national anthem be replaced with America the Beautiful.
The Dixie Chicks are changing their name. They're dropping the Dixie. The band will now just be called the Chicks, saying, quote, "We want to meet this moment." They made the announcement on their website and updated all of their social media handles this week. They also released a new song called March. It's a tribute to protests for equality and social issues over the past decades.
All right, still ahead for us on this Friday morning. Hattie's tracking the latest in your alert day forecast. She'll tell us when we'll see storms in our area.
And coming up in the next half hour, we're getting some clarity from top health officials on when to wear face masks, why they say that information's changed.
Super sale happening this week at the Brothers Maine. Come in now for more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We make upgrading your home more convenient at Maine with up to 18 months of 0% financing and expert-free delivery. Get more at the 4th of July Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. And happy birthday, USA, from the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Nothing beats a relaxing summer day, and Blaine's Farm and Fleet has amazing summer savings on everything you need to get out and enjoy the weather. Like our lowest price of the year on this Charbroil gas grill, just $179.99. Save on this Lifetime kayak, $449.99. Dots Home Style or Southwest pretzels are just $4.99. Plus, this Friday through Sunday, we're thanking all first responders and healthcare workers by offering 10% off your entire purchase.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Work smarter. Use the cloud to securely print, scan, and collaborate. GI Office Technologies, helping businesses like yours.
We've got the power. It's deer season at the Power Centers of Madison. John Deere compact utility tractors have the power and versatility to tackle the biggest jobs on your list. Multiple attachments are available, extremely easy to operate, control, and finesse. Make home and garden work fun with John Deere mowers. Mow, mulch, and haul your way to a beautiful yard. Get your John Deere now at the Power Centers of Madison.
The final days are here for the historic store closing sale at A1 Furniture and Mattress. With so much furniture to liquidate in just a matter of days, management has issued strict orders. Sell it all and sell it fast, regardless of cost, regardless of loss. Fine area rugs are a whopping 70% off.
You may not know them. The coffee shop owner who knows your order. The couple who saves your seats. The family down the street who greets you with a smile. They've been there for you. Now you can be there for them. Donate today and help our friends and neighbors keep their power on.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
5:23 your time on this Friday. Take a peek at this stunner from Leslie. Just a beautiful photo. We've been lucky enough to have some great sunrises.
We have, and we coordinated our outfits to match this picture.
We did, Leslie. Thanks for the inspiration.
What's your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on our social media. Make sure to use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we'll show our favorites on the air.
All right, well, trending this morning, there are reports that Universal Pictures is looking to reboot the blockbuster film Twister.
I have been all over this story. Twister is one of my favorite films to date. So sources tell Variety the studio is developing a reboot of the 1996 film that was set and filmed in Oklahoma. There are reportedly negotiations going on right now with big-time directors and producers. Details about the possible Twister reboot, though, have not been released. Twister was the second highest-grossing film in 1996 at the box office, bringing in more than $240 million. So how do we feel about this?
I do not want them to do this.
Why? Well, because the first one was done so well?
Yes. And you can't do it without Bill Paxton.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Bill Paxton was incredible in that movie. It's an awesome movie, you know.
It's a really good movie. We just watched this 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it just would not be the same, and you can't recreate that now.
So can you bring back the original cast? That would be kind of fun.
Here's what I look at is I feel like technology in making movies has changed so much. I feel like they can make it so much more realistic now. That's what I would like to see as kind of a Storm fan.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, some of the scenes could be made a little better, I think.
So, funny story, in 8th grade, one of our assignments was to watch this movie.
Really?
And then pick out the inaccuracies in the movies, like things that didn't add up, or things that I forget what they're called, but
like the flying cows. Were the flying cows on that list?
Yeah, something like that. But like that was our assignment.
Hattie, flying cows.
Great movie. I just don't want to see him try to redo it again.
I know. I just remember the end where they're hanging onto the pole and being like literally sucked out of the building. All right, well, let's take a look at what we have going on weather-wise here. Here's a live look from the Edgewater Skycam, looking a little ominous to the west.
All right, thanks, Hattie. We're back right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
The 70th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Now at Menards. Ultra Deck Rustic Low Maintenance Composite Decking gives you the look of real wood without the upkeep. 8, 12, and 16-foot lengths are $177 a lineal foot after 11% off. Get power when you need it with this Brute portable generator. It delivers up to 5,250 starting watts of power. $399.61 after 11% off. Start saving with 11% off everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
About $99 prescription sunglasses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life. Garver. Garver.
Gather. Ing. Gathering.
Garver.
Gathering.
Garv.
Ing.
Garvering.
A socially responsible gathering where a maximum of 250 people enjoy thirst-quenching drinks, delicious food, and the arts in a safe, clean, and touchless outdoor environment. Let's go garvering. Visit thegarverfeedmill.com for dates and details starting June 11th.
Brought to you by News 3 Now, Madison Magazine, and the Garver Feed Mill.
Are you one of the 100 million Americans that suffer from chronic pain? Hi there, my name is Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I want you to know about an all-natural product called Cura Relief. With nutrients like boswellia and curcumin, it targets the root of your pain, inflammation. Most people feel a difference in less than 45 minutes. Stop the pain and the drugs naturally with Cura Relief. Stop by one of our 4 Madison-based locations or check us out online at findyourhealthyplace.com. The Healthy Place.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With special offers like 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. Now get 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Contact your Ford dealer or stop by today.
The 70th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
A suspect released hours after his arrest. We have late-breaking details on the hit-and-run investigation in downtown Madison.
Today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. We have the potential for severe thunderstorms, especially this afternoon and evening. I'll have all the details in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks. Happy Thursday, June 26th. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we want to get right to the weather this morning because we have severe storms pushing toward the Madison area right now. Hattie's time.
We actually are starting with breaking news right now. We've learned a man arrested for a hit and run on early Sunday morning is already out of jail this morning. Brendan O'Neill was arrested yesterday on a tentative charge of hit and run causing injury, but within the last hour, we've learned from the Dane County Sheriff's Office he was released on a $350 bail. The arrest is in connection to this incident from Sunday morning on North Francis Street and University Avenue near the UW-Madison campus. A woman is still recovering this morning after being hit by a truck which drove away before police got to the scene. Community activists and local nonprofits are pushing for the case to be investigated as a hate crime. We have more information about this incident and all of the security camera footage up right now on channel3000.com.
All right, the other big story this morning, an alert day in our forecast. Hattie McLean here with what we need to know. Hi, Hattie.
That's right. Yeah, we do have the potential for severe thunderstorms today, especially later on this afternoon and early evening. Those severe thunderstorms may produce some high winds and heavy rain as well as some isolated tornadoes. Now, this morning, we are keeping our eye on a strong thunderstorm that is pushing its way into southwestern Dane County through Monroe area this morning, making its way towards Rock County. These storms are moving pretty quickly, producing lots of lightning and thunder as well as some very heavy rain. There is the potential for some penny-sized hail as well. You can take a look at Doppler track, and now we are starting to see some weakening of this line as it moves further to the east. It will likely make it to us here in Madison, but will continue to weaken as it moves towards the east. This is just the first round of showers and thunderstorms. You can see shower and thunderstorm activity already developing across parts of Minnesota and Iowa. As this entire system moves east today, we have our second round possible after lunchtime today. And here's a look at our severe weather outlook, updated to include an enhanced risk for severe weather across far southern Wisconsin. That does include the Madison and Milwaukee areas. Main threats from these later day thunderstorms, again, will be strong winds. We could see winds in excess of 70 miles an hour. There is the potential, enough rotation in the atmosphere that some isolated tornadoes are possible as well. So get that severe weather plan ready. Again, secure outdoor objects if you can this morning and determine where the safest place to be is at your home. You don't want to be outside later on today. Our temperatures early this morning, 68 here in Madison. Even as the rain moves through, it doesn't cool down a whole lot. Temperatures are in the low to mid 60s to the west. We're looking at future track to time out these rain showers this morning. Likely as we head towards the 7 o'clock hour, that rain will be working its way into Madison. We'll get a little bit of a break through the mid-morning hours. Temperatures will climb pretty quickly, though, as those humidity levels increase across southern Wisconsin. Look for a couple of lines of showers and thunderstorms to push through the area through the afternoon and evening time frame. Latest forecast models are pushing that rain through a little earlier than what we thought yesterday. So these rain showers and thunderstorms should be done by midnight. Rain totals are going to be highly variable across the area, but there is the potential for anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Once the rain moves through, we have a pretty nice weekend. Highs in the mid 80s, lots of sunshine. We are going to heat it up next week. We'll be close to 90 many days.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Developing right now, you're taking a live look at Janesville this morning, where dive teams are continuing their water search and rescue right now. This is a picture of the old Monterey Dam near the Center Avenue Bridge. That search started just before 7:30 last night. Officials aren't telling us anything more at this point, but we'll be sure to keep you updated throughout the show as we learn more details.
For the first time in nearly 2 months, the White House Coronavirus Task Force will be giving a public briefing. This comes as Wisconsin and at least 29 other states are seeing a resurgence in cases. The task force used to meet regularly to update the president on the virus, but they've recently cut back their meetings to just once or twice a week. Members tell CNN their engagement with President Trump has also been limited. In his testimony earlier this week, Dr. Anthony Fauci told lawmakers he hasn't talked to Trump in about 2.5 weeks.
And the CDC is adding 3 new symptoms to the list for COVID-19. They include congestion or runny nose, nausea, or diarrhea. Those come in addition to the other symptoms such as fever, chills, shortness of breath, fatigue, or loss of taste or smell. This is not an exhaustive list of symptoms. The organization says it'll continue to update the list as they learn more about the virus.
Yesterday, we told you more than 30% of women say they're delaying getting pregnant because of the pandemic. Now there's data that could explain some of their concerns. Listen to this. The CDC says pregnant women are now considered at higher risk for COVID-19. This comes as new research shows pregnant women have higher rates of hospitalization, admission to the ICU, and of needing a ventilator compared to women who aren't pregnant. Some promising news here. There's no clear evidence of a higher death rate among pregnant women.
The director of the CDC says for every person infected with the virus, there are likely 10 more people who have it but are undiagnosed. That would put us at 24 million confirmed cases instead of the current 2.4 million cases in the U.S. Robert Redfield's estimate is based on antibody test results. Redfield believes that 5 to 8% of the country has been infected so far. According to the Washington Post, that would mean up to 95% of people are still susceptible to being infected. Experts say this indicates the pandemic is still in its early stages and measures need to be taken to try to limit its spread. Joe Biden says if he was president right now, he would mandate that every American wear a mask in public. He made that comment to our affiliate in Pittsburgh yesterday. He says he would try to leverage federal power to make face mask coverings mandatory to mitigate the spread of the virus. So far, President Trump has gone against health experts, refusing to wear one himself.
Since the start of the pandemic, guidance on wearing face masks has changed over time. At first, the CDC had recommended not wearing one if you weren't showing symptoms. Today, though, researchers say 33,000 American lives could be prevented if 95% of us wore masks in public. The change is partially because of equipment shortages as officials work to reserve supplies for healthcare workers and patients at first. And it also wasn't clear right away how contagious COVID could be. To be clear, the CDC does now say you should wear a face covering when you're out in public to protect the people around you.
New coronavirus numbers from the state come out in a few hours, and we are hoping to see the percentage go down today. Just over 4% of yesterday's tests came back positive, down slightly from Wednesday when it was at 4.3%. As you can see, we are still on an overall upward trend. We're also keeping a close eye on Dane County, which broke its single-day record yesterday for the second straight day. Local health leaders say it has nothing to do with increased testing. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll outline the new steps the county is considering because of the new trend. And when it comes to containing the spread in our state's prisons, Wisconsin is getting a failing grade. The American Civil Liberties Union and the Prison Policy Initiative analyzed every state's responses to the pandemic in jails and prisons. 9 states got Ds, the rest got Fs. According to the state journal, Wisconsin prisons have 271 COVID-19 cases among inmates. Of those, all but 9 have recovered. 65 of the 66 Department of Corrections staff members who tested positive across the state have recovered.
Continuing coverage now, the coronavirus officially spreading among migrant families in U.S. government detention centers. ICE reported its first case among detained families with children overnight. Court filings show at least 11 family members in a Texas detention center now have the virus. These are the first officially confirmed cases at any of the 3 ICE detention facilities. More than 2,500 adult immigrants have tested positive while in ICE custody. 800 are still in isolation or observation. At least 2 have died.
538 breaking overnight. Up to 20 million Americans could lose their health coverage after the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to overturn the Affordable Care Act. The filing comes as the government reports nearly 500,000 people who lost health insurance during the economic shutdown have gotten coverage through the program. A total of 27 million people are believed to have lost job-based coverage because of recent layoffs. It's unclear what, if anything, they're turning to as a fallback during the pandemic. The administration's brief doesn't mention the coronavirus at all. We'll be sure to update you if the Supreme Court comments or takes action this morning.
538 now. Special prosecutors will reopen the investigation into the death of a 23-year-old black man at the hands of police. We first told you about Elijah McClain yesterday. He was put into a chokehold by police nearly a year ago after they stopped him on the street because he was, quote, being suspicious. He was also given 500 kilograms of ketamine by first responders before he was pronounced dead. Governor Jared Polis signed an executive order reopening that investigation. The 3 white officers involved were previously cleared in McLean's death.
5:39 now. School is out, but many kids are keeping up with their summer reading.
Christina Laurie is back with us this morning, sharing some books that better explain the history of racism. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Chris, Leah. Right now, books are not only providing a much-needed escape from our often overwhelming news cycle, but they can help provide a better understanding of everything that is going on. The Madison Reading Project recommends March by Congressman John Lewis, Andrew Aden, and Nate Powell as a different kind of book perfect for kids 8 and up. It's a graphic novel trilogy about the civil rights movement told through the perspective of civil rights leader turned U.S. Representative John Lewis. Graphic novels are more like informative cartoons, so these books are perfect for kids who might not be big readers or just want something that's a little different. When you're helping your son or daughter pick out a book, the Madison Reading Project encourages you to look for diversity and representation. That goes not only for the books kids are reading, but for the shows they're watching and the toys they're playing with. The good news is that a lot of parents are already following this advice, ordering books about fighting racism. The bad news is that a lot of major online retailers are selling out as a result, but there are other options. Services like Audible, Apple, Amazon, Google Play, Nook, and even this app called Libby all have digital copies of these books available. Libby is a free service that you just need to enter your library card number for, and it's super easy to use. You can also find many of the books that I shared this morning at local bookstores. I know A Room of One's Own just got a whole new shipment in that's located just off of State Street here in town. Chris and Leah.
All right, Christina Laurie live for us this morning. Good information. Thanks.
Check for the roads at 5:41 this morning. We've been keeping an eye, especially south and west of the Madison Metro this morning, for some rainfall, some ponding on the roads after that heavy rain. Madison Metro looking pretty good so far, though. We can see a few more slowdowns along near Park Street and West Wash near downtown. East Wash looking good. If you are heading out, there's a look at your drive times this morning. Inbound looking good from the interstate to John Nolan Drive. Take you around 4 minutes. Let's take you a live look outside this morning. Beautiful start for Madison out there. Although we do have a sticky and stormy day on the way. Hattie's got details about a severe storm chance coming up in her alert day forecast.
And if that summer trip isn't looking like it's going to work out, we're going to tell you which other type of travel you might want to consider with your family this summer. That's when News 3 Now this morning continues.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Going on now, 4 days only. Save big at Grand Appliance and avoid big box crowds this holiday during the Friends and Family Sale. Shop online or at your local Grand Appliance. Double up on grand exclusive savings. Up to $1,000 on top of already reduced July 4th pricing. Take advantage of safe online, phone, and virtual shopping options. Plus, your choice of either no-contact curbside or in-home delivery services. Don't delay. Grand Appliance Friends and Family Sale ends this Sunday, June 28th.
1 in 9 Americans struggle with hunger, yet 40% of the food in America is wasted. The Kroger Company's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste Foundation is working to help end hunger and food waste in neighborhoods across America. Together, we can help end hunger. Learn more at zerohungerzerowastefoundation.org.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every Toyota hybrid vehicle is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops for gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. See your dealer or shop and buy online. Right now, you can lease a new 2020 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid for $239 a month.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Lately, we've found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Trust us to get it right. These storms are capable of producing some heavy rain and maybe some hail.
To keep you prepared.
When severe weather is on the way.
We have an alert day in the forecast for this evening for strong to possibly severe thunderstorms, hail, high winds, perhaps even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out.
And your family's safety is on the line. You need to seek shelter immediately.
Our team and technology are ready to help you stay safe.
Trust the First Warn Weather Team on News 3 Now.
5:45 on your Friday. With many of us staying safe at home, summer travel is expected to go down.
And now we know just how much it's expected to go down by. AAA's 2020 summer travel forecast is out. It predicts Americans will take more than 120 million fewer trips this season. That's a 14% decline, mainly because of reduced air travel. That alone will be 74% below last year's levels. This will be the biggest travel dip since 2009. When it comes to road trips, though, not as big of a hit here. It's only estimated to be down 3%.
Do you guys have any trips planned right now?
Josh asked if we have any trips planned right now. We do. We're going out to Glacier National Park next month, and my parents are getting more nervous as it comes up because that state, like we are, they're seeing increased cases of coronavirus.
We don't have anything. We put everything on hold right now.
That was smart of you.
And especially with increased numbers coming out the past few days, I just don't feel right about making any plans like that right now.
You know, my parents are over 65, so we are definitely nervous about it. Josh, I know you're a huge flyer and you've been stuck on the ground.
I can't remember the last time I've been on a plane, to be honest, and I've got no trips planned, which is hard for me because I live off of traveling. You know, that's kind of my high. I know you guys.
Does it count to go to the cabin?
I know. Well, that's what you're doing next week, right?
Yeah, no one's occupying the cabin right now, so I'm going to occupy the cabin next week.
There you go.
Quarantine there.
Yes.
All right. Well, it is not a road trip or a plane ride, but one man decided to take the trip of a lifetime on foot. Corey Capoloni is an experienced distance runner. He's even run 6 days through the Sahara Desert in what's considered the most grueling race on Earth. But he says the 218-mile run to his grandma's house after she got COVID-19 was the toughest but most rewarding of his life.
Yeah, he spent 7 days running from his home in D.C. to his 98-year-old grandma's nursing home in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He arrived to cheers, flags, and purple balloons, which are his favorite color. When he got there, he smiled and pointed to Nana Ruth's 4th floor room where she looked out from the window. She did have a sign hanging that said, "I love you, Corey."
Oh, boy, what a show of love there.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I love you, Mom and Dad, but I wouldn't run that many days for you.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'd probably take the car.
Is that too highbrow for you too, Leah?
Okay, running is not too highbrow for me, Josh. I'm just not that athletic.
Just too hard.
Too hard, yeah. I don't have time for that either. I'll just do some yoga. All right, 5:47 right now. Let's turn to that alert day forecast. And looks like from our sky cam here at the station, seeing a little
raindrops?
drippiness. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this is our camera at the station, as Josh mentioned, looking to the west, hoping to pick up on some of that lightning. But the storm has weakened quite a bit, so we're not seeing as many lightning strikes here in the Madison area. It still is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. Now, this first round of showers and thunderstorms is not expected to be severe. Take a look at Doppler track, and you can see these showers and thunderstorms quickly moving through the area. They are moving at about 30 to 40 miles an hour. Some brief gusty winds. There was a threat for some small hail, but I think that is diminishing as well. Mainly looks like just a heavy rain threat at this hour. And speaking of heavy rain, those storms did drop a quick inch of rain in some parts of southwestern Wisconsin. So some spots may be dealing with a little bit of water on the roads yet this morning. Our probability of precipitation is up and down this morning, but it really starts to increase later on this afternoon. Rain becomes likely with some thunderstorms expected through the afternoon and early evening time frame. So if you're planning your day, you may be able to dodge the raindrops this afternoon. Temperatures will top right around 83 degrees. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about the severe threats that are in the area this afternoon.
Yeah, here it comes. Thanks, Hattie. Before you head out the door this morning, you want to make sure that your car isn't part of a massive recall. We'll tell you which company and models are impacted coming up in the spring.
And ahead of Monday's school board meeting, activists are pushing for leaders to end their contracts with local police. Hear from an activist about what they want this to look like coming up in our next half hour.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Land's End Business, outfitting work, life, and style.
The 70th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
Feldco season is here, and the signs are all around us. Like free installation on all windows, siding, and doors, and no interest for 1 year. It's time to jump on that home renovation project and free installation all from the comfort of home. That gives you time to make the most of your Feldco season.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
At Mounds Pet Food Warehouse, we know that no two pets are the same. That's why each of our 5 southern Wisconsin locations is wall-to-wall with everything you and your pet need, including dog food, cat food, pet beds, thousands of toys, treats, and chews, and supplies for your small animals, birds, and reptiles too. With so many options, finding what you need is easy. You gotta get down to Mounds and see for yourself. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse powers them all. And don't forget your free Mounds candy bar.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Happy 4th of July Super Sale, happening this week at the Brothers Maine. Come in now for more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We make upgrading your home more convenient at Maine with up to 18 months of 0% financing and expert-free delivery. Get more at the 4th of July Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. And happy birthday, USA, from the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
You may not know them. The coffee shop owner who knows your order. The couple who saves your seats. The family down the street who greets you with a smile. They've been there for you. Now you can be there for them. Donate today and help our friends and neighbors keep their power on.
The 70th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
It's 5:52, time for the morning sprint.
We start with an update to breaking news this morning in Madison. We've learned a man arrested for that hit and run on early Sunday morning is already out of jail this morning. Brendan O'Neill was arrested yesterday on a tentative charge of hit and run causing injury, but within the last hour, we've learned from the Dane County Sheriff's Office he was released on a $350 bail. The arrest is in connection to this incident from Sunday morning on North Francis Street and University Avenue near the UW-Madison campus. A woman is recovering after being hit by a truck which drove away before police got to the scene. Community activists and local nonprofits are pushing for the case to be investigated as a hate crime.
And today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. We have a line of showers and thunderstorms pushing through. The heaviest rain south of Madison right now, headed towards the Janesville area. More shower and thunderstorm activity further back to the west, though, so another round is expected this afternoon. With that second round, there's a potential for severe weather. It's an enhanced risk here across southern Wisconsin. Main threats will be strong winds as well as isolated tornadoes. Rain chances are pretty high through the late afternoon and early evening time frame. That rain comes to an end by midnight tonight.
Hattie, thank you. Developing right now, we have a crew on the scene in Janesville after search and rescue crews were doing a water search overnight. It all started just before 7:30 last night. This is near the old Monterey Dam by the Center Avenue Bridge in Janesville. Officials aren't telling us anything more this morning, but we'll keep you updated throughout the show as we learn more details.
For the first time in nearly 2 months, the White House Coronavirus Task Force will give a public briefing. This comes as Wisconsin and at least 29 other states are seeing a resurgence in cases. The task force used to meet regularly to update the president on the virus, but has recently cut back its meetings to just once or twice a week. Members tell CNN their engagement with President Trump has also been limited.
New coronavirus numbers from the state come out in a few hours, and we are hoping to see the percentage of positive cases go down. Just over 4% of yesterday's cases came back positive. That is slightly down from Wednesday's 4.3%. But as you can see, we're still on an upward trend. We're also keeping a close eye on Dane County, which broke its single-day record yesterday for the second straight day.
Breaking overnight, up to 20 million Americans could lose their health coverage after the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to overturn the Affordable Care Act. The filing comes as the government reports nearly 500,000 people who lost health insurance during the economic shutdown have gotten coverage through the program. We'll be sure to update you if the Supreme Court comments or takes action this morning.
Madison police are investigating an alleged assault of a black 18-year-old woman after she told police that she was lit on fire early Wednesday morning. Althea Bernstein told police that she was on West Gorham, had her driver's side window down. A group of 4 white men drove up to her at an intersection and started yelling racial slurs at her. She told police one of them used a spray bottle to spray lighter fluid on her, then throw a flaming lighter at her, which caused her to set fire. Madison Police Chief Vic Walsh said this is being investigated as a hate crime.
More than 265,000 of Toyota's electric vehicles are being recalled this morning because of an issue with their fail-safe mode. The company says the Prius and Prius V models could lose power and stall and increase the risk of a crash. It focuses on certain 2013 to 2015 Prius models and Prius V models from 2014 through 2017. Toyota plans on notifying you if you are impacted by late August. In the meantime, though, you can take your car to a dealer for a system software update for free.
Check of the roads at 5:55 this Friday morning. A look at the Madison Metro right now. No crashes to report. Looks like we are seeing a few delays on Stoughton Road northbound from the Beltline, and also as you approach 151 and East Washington Avenue. There's your drive times. If you're heading out right now, looks like you're in the green. And if you're heading into downtown, you shouldn't have any problems. That's your first warn traffic.
And your first warn weather showing you some pretty heavy rain from Madison and points to the south. Rain rates in and around Janesville approaching 4 inches an hour. Keep in mind, though, these thunderstorms are moving through the area rather quickly. Total precipitation today between around this morning and later on this afternoon could be well over an inch, though, in some spots.
All right. Thank you, Hattie. Stay with us. We're going to keep tracking that storm when News 3 Now continues.